Great expectations. Just remember those two words, great expectations. I want you to write those two words down. We all have great expectations. We all have plenty of friends, as I just taught in the last lesson. But we all have great expectations. 1 John 3:1 says, Behold, what manner of love the Father has bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. That word behold means look up with great expectations. Raise your awareness with great expectations. And behold who we really are. We should always remember who we really are. We are created in the image of God. We are sons of God. We are inheritors of all that God is. We have God within us. So we have great expectations. When the angels came to the shepherds in the fields before to announce the birth of Jesus, the angels said, Behold, I will send the Messiah. The word behold meant, okay, shepherds in the field, have great expectations about what is coming. Realize that this is going to be much greater than anything that you could possibly expect, but you need to begin to raise your awareness of what could be. When the angel came to the Virgin Mary and said, Behold, you will be with child, he shall be called the highest, Emmanuel. This is great expectations. She was to have great expectations about the child which was to be born. And that's the way it is with our ideas and with our getting the success idea in our mind, getting a hope of better things. Perhaps your dream is to have a nice home. Your dream is to have a much better vehicle. Your dream is to have more prosperity. Then God says to you, Behold, have great expectations. Behold, great things are to come. If you lift up your awareness to behold and lift up your awareness in great expectations. Great expectations is the theme that we really need to keep our minds on all the time. Every day that we get up, we should get up with exhilaration and great expectations about what the day can bring. So often we go through the day saying, oh, I know it's just another terrible day, another manic Monday, another day that it's too cold or it's too hot. But instead of that, we should always get up saying, today is going to be full of great expectations, and I'm going to look for those. I'm going to expect great things, and I'm going to know great things are coming. The great things will come if you are expecting them in the right way and are grateful for everything that does happen. If you take the attitude toward life of behold, of beholding all that God is, beholding how great your awareness can become, beholding what your actual sonship means, being the Son of God, because John in 1 John 1:12 says, to all that believed in him, to them gave he the power to become the sons of God, even to them who believe in his name. The power comes through great expectations. The power comes through knowing that we are a son of God and that we have God living within us, and achieving an idea of great expectations about what that could mean. We should always realize how great the love of God is. 1 John 4 and 8 and 18. But 1 John 4 and 8 says God is love. Just virtually equating everything that God is with love. And everything God does, he does in love. And so the Apostle John went ahead and just equated God with love. And 1 John 4:18 says, perfect love casts out fear. All apprehension, stress, strain, everything, perfect love casts it out. In other words, we need to behold how perfect love is and raise our awareness to a higher level of love. And as we raise our awareness to a higher level of love, less and less fear will plague us, less and less apprehension, less and less anxiety, less and less peace, and more joy will be in our life as we raise our expectations to a great higher level of love and as become aware in a much higher way the full extent of God's love. This is our whole problem in life is we really don't believe God loves us with an infinite love. We really don't. We really have a very low idea of how much God loves us. We know He loves us, but we really have a relatively speaking, low idea. We need to continually to lift up our idea of what the love of God actually means. Continue to raise our awareness to a higher level. That's what behold means. When you see the word behold, it says that means raise your awareness. And we know that in the Psalms that God was always telling them to lift up their eyes into the hills. Eyes was representative of the consciousness and the awareness. That's what they used to express consciousness and awareness. He was always telling them, lift up your awareness to see how great God is and how He fills all things and how He is everywhere. The I am that I am within you all the time. The still small voice that is within you saying, I am here. I am here now. I am to be what you can expect me to be. If you'll raise your expectations of what I am, then I will be that because I'm already all things. Now we need to continually begin to ask ourselves, do I have this type of love? Love is healing. Love is powerful. Love does everything for us. Love goes before us. Love opens the way. Love paves the road. Love provides an avenue. When we have enough love in our life that we are expressing that love to other people everywhere we go, avenues will be open to do all sorts of ministry for God. Avenues to heal people will be open. People will recognize the love of God in us. It's I remember reading a story about how that one particular saint of God had so much love. Well, there's actually two instances I can think of. One of them was Charles Finney, when he would go into it. He would actually go, when we talk about going door to door, he would actually go into factories, and it was said that his love and the spirit that he maintained of benevolence was so great that when he first stepped inside of a large factory, everyone would immediately stop their work and turn to see who it was that had entered because they could feel the presence. It's so great. And then another instances of one where there was this saint of God lived in a on a large plot of land with a large mansion, and people would come to see her, and they mentioned that many testimonies were made about that. Some of them, sometimes there would be crowds that would be too great to get even near the mansion, and they would be like a quarter of a mile off. But they said that everything from the trees to the flowers to all the animals around would perk up, and they could almost see love with their physical eyes sparkling in the very grass itself. And one woman particular testimony was made that she began to cry. She said, all of my life I believed in the love of God, and I've tried to love everybody as best I can. But now I see that once I got here and feel this overwhelming presence of love that is in this area, I realize now that I never even had the love of God like I thought I did. I really didn't have it. I thought I had it, but I didn't. And so that was a awareness raising experience for her. It was a beholding experience. She beheld something she hadn't beheld before, and it raised her expectations. When I was about 8 or 9 years old, I remember going to this particular church where the parsonage to the church was located fairly close to the church, and it was the church was actually down one road, and then there was a larger road, a different, yeah, it was actually a larger road that was up in front of it, which had a nice brick house with, I think it was maybe 4 or 5 bedrooms. It was a very nice brick house, and that's where they had the parsonage, and that's where the pastor lived. And it was so close to the church that we would get there early, and the pastor maybe had not even came over yet to the church. And so as a youngster, I would go over there to, go ahead and walk back with him. And I would go over there and knock on the door and so forth. And I remember going to the door of that particular house and seeing the sign over the door that said, "The house that love built." And I would think in my mind, because we lived in a new development where new houses were being built all around us. We were one of the first ones in there to build a new house, and then there was there was houses going all up and down around us, and I would visit those houses and look at the structure of them and everything. I would see how they were being built, even at a young age, and I would think, yes, this is how you build a house. But then I read that sign, and it said that love had built that house, and it got me to thinking. And that was a beholding experience. How could love have built this house? Look at all the bricks in it and all the mortar and all the size of it and everything. How could love build this house? Well, of course, the love of the people for the pastor that took up collections and built that house. That's how it came about. It came about through love. Marvelous things can come about through love, just like that house. And we can build marvelous things in our life if we only gain enough love in our life. We should behold the great things that can happen in our life, that can be built in our life through increasing our capacity to love, to raising our awareness to more love, to beholding more the love of God. Every day we should get up and ask ourselves, how much really does God love me? And how much really does God love the world? And then begin to try to raise your awareness to that, and begin to, as best you can in your mind's eye, behold that. Look around and see love on every tree and every flower and every blade of grass. Look around and see all the creatures of God, all full of the love of God. Look and see the beautiful sunrise and realize that is the love of God that has provided those things. And if we do that, we will begin to gain such a spiritual understanding of the way things actually operate that it will be totally unbelievable to us. Now, you say, well, what can I do to gain a greater expectation? Well, one thing, you can memorize these truths that I'm telling you. And you can put them on index cards and go over them every day. You can begin to write a journal every day so that when thoughts about the love of God come to you, and what love means and what you're expecting love to do. Write down, I'm expecting love to do this. I'm expecting love to increase in my life. Write that in your journal. Ask God, God, our infinite mind, infinite spirit, infinite intelligence, I'm asking you, how can I gain a greater love in my life? How can I raise myself to a greater awareness? And then close your eyes and meditate upon that and see what you're told. See how the I am comes to you within and begins to unfold all these marvelous things to you as to how you can do those things.